Right, I am here. I'm live. Hello. I set a challenge this morning on the Facebook group Stampy for All, and I said that I might do a Facebook Live showing how I made it. So here I am. So the challenge was a card sketch. I can't show you the card sketch because it's either on my phone, which is filming this, on Facebook. I can't show you the Facebook because my phone's filming this. The iPad I am watching to check I'm in shot, and my Mac's downstairs, so you can't see the but these are the cards. Okay, so the sketch was a rectangle with a circle, basically. Quite simple. I was quite chuffed myself. I made it on Word, so I didn't like look on Pinterest to see it. So that was good. What happens if I press the play button on the live? I don't go back to the beginning, do I? I need to mute it. I thought I might be able to see if anybody comments. No, I don't think I can see people doing it that way. I maybe should have left it the way it was. Oh well, I can see that somebody's watching, but no, I've lost it. Oh, do you know, sometimes I should just leave technology alone. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it so that I can actually just see what I'm looking at. I'm going to exit the big screen. No, don't want to exit the big screen. Do you know, don't know what I'm doing. Leaving it. So, yeah, so I am recreating this. So I'm going to do it. So I've done a little bit of prep to recreate it, and I'm going to do it slightly differently. Okay, so a bit of live crafting. I have cut my card bases, so I'm using blueberry brush, can't even say it, blueberry brush bushel. There's some scraps, so I've just literally sort of cut them up. I've cut myself a mat in Whisper White. I've also embossed one using the Subtles embossing folder, and I'm trying to decide whether to not use that one or that one. I don't know. Got a couple of scraps to do my sentiment. I've cut a piece here that's 2 inches by, it will be my normal mat, so that's 5 3/8 to fit in, because obviously I use British sizes with A4. Okay, and then this I'm going to stamp on. That is what we're going to do, a little bit of background stamping. On these two I've used DSP, but I do like to do my own, so I'm using Bloom on Bloom to do this bit of stamping. And I was going to do 4 colours. I did do a little bit of a practice just to sort of have an idea, and I used these 4 colours, blueberry brushroll, balmy blue, Pacific Point and Pool Party. Those two are very similar to those two, and then I've just thrown in Bombay Sapphire, I was about to say. I think I need a gin and tonic. And ironically, Bombay Sapphire is not one of my favourites. Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. So we're doing 6, and I'm using that image there, the 2 little flowers, that sort of sunshine spray there, and then I'm using these 2 little dotty elements as well. So yeah, I don't know why I'm putting them inks away, because you've got to use them, you Burke. So I've mounted them all up. So I've got me wee flowers there and me little dots. Ran out of little A blocks. I love me little A blocks, and I'm sure I've got 2 more somewhere hiding. And then these are the bigger ones, so I've put them either side of that, and I've just put another stamp on there just to give it a little bit of stability, but I'm not going to put any ink on that. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly stamp around this piece of Whisper White. I'm going to start with the big images first, and I'm doing them in blueberry brushroll, and gonna go balmy blue. That's what I'm gonna do. So I like it to do the big ones first, because if you filled the space with all the little ones, you might not actually have enough space for the big ones when you've finished. So we put the big ones in, and then the little ones just fill it up. Oh, that's rubbish. Let's see if I can go over it, because it is photopolymer. Might be able to. There you go. Nothing to see. It's all okay. Done a bit of rubbish there. It's because I'm using this long one. And it's a bit hard. Okay, now I'm going to do this one. I love this burst. One of my friends, Verity, she did a card with the DSP that's got this burst in, and she did it for a celebration, and it just reminds me of fireworks going off. Now there's space there. Gonna shove that one in there. There. Then we're going to come in with the big ones. Put the block on the side there so we don't get all messy. Put these away so we don't get all messy. And then we're going to come in with, I shall do some flowers. So come in with this flower, and then we've got all these little spaces to fill up, and I've managed to get some ink on that. Let's just wipe it off on the little shimmy shammy. Managed to get ink on there. Well done, Jess. I am going to cut this up, so I will probably be able to manage not to. Matter of fact, I could probably just stamp over it. There you go, it's gone. There we go. We'll do that one. Now this is when, if I'm filming for YouTube, that I kind of fast forward, because I think you don't want to sit and watch this, or you'd fast forward yourself anyway. That's what I do when I'm watching things on YouTube. If they're doing repetitive stuff, I just fast forward. So that's them. So now we're just going to come in with the dots. And I'm only going to cut like a 2-inch, well, not even a 2-inch strip of this, but I am going to have enough for doing a couple of cards, aren't I? So Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. So I called it Coastal Cabana. Did anybody watch that video where I called Coastal Cabana Clips of Coral the entire way through the video? And as you can see, as you stamp this, it's quite similar to, which one was that? Pool Party, I think. There we go. And go in there, go over there, and let's do Bermuda Bay. Love Bermuda Bay. I haven't used it for ages actually. It's a little bit more vibrant, but they're all sort of, some of these are quite sort of similar toned, and then you've got the Bushel and Pacific Point coming out. And I've used the Blueberry Bushel for the colour for the card base, because I think that'd be nice. I can see that there are a few people watching. If you're interacting with me, I can't see your comments, so I will answer them after. Okay, let's go in there, go in there. Love doing this, quite relaxing. I've just insta'd a picture of myself with my craft room in the background, saying my happy space. It is my happy space. It's a mess, which if you've watched my craft room tour, you know. And I watched Mary Fish craft room tour yesterday, and wow, it doesn't look like anybody goes in the room, never mind crafting it. And I could never be that disciplined. I do admire people that can be that disciplined. Sam's like that as well, but I can't do it. Just can't do it. One day maybe. Can't see it. So that's my little bit of stamping. So if we move these all out of the way, and I shall stick these on top of my chamois out the way. There we go. So let's start doing a little bit of card assembly. So what I need to do is card base. So usual card base. So it's 8 1/4 by 5 7/8, and then we'll score at 1 1/8. I like to do this butted up so that it definitely scores in half at the right place. Get your bone folder, give that a burnish. So we've got my mat in Whisper White, and I've got one that's been embossed, and we'll decide which one I like. That goes there, so this needs to be cut down. So we get my trimmer. So this is 2 inches by what is my second mat size, which is 5 3/8. So I need to cut this to 2 inches. We'll take it down. Won't take it down 1/4. I'll take it down 1/8. So we'll take this to 2 7/8, and then so we'll go down 1/8 here. So we'll go to 5 1/4. So we've got a little margin. So all those little mistakes I haven't used, but I will probably make another card. So that will mat in there. I need to change my blade. It's gone a bit fluffy there. I usually have a nail file to sort them fluffy bits out, but I can't see it. Never mind. So that's going to go on there. So the question is whether or not we want a plain or a pattern background. But we'll stick that down first. And then we've got to decide on the sentiment. So I have gone on the other 2 cards. That one's Christmas and that one's Happy Birthday. So I thought I might make this a thank you, because I do make lots of thank you cards. There we go. So I thought I'd use me thank you from Tropical Chic, which is my most recent acquisition, which I didn't pay for because it was a present. I'm going to use this stamp here, so I'll take that one off. And then it's what colour, and I think we'll stick to the blueberry bushel. So where's my scrap? There we go. Thank you, beautiful. Isn't that lovely? Wouldn't you just love to have handwriting like that? They look nice. I know I would. Right, and when I did it on the original, I used the 2-inch circle and the burst. And this one might get a bit lost unless I put some flowers on it. Might put some flowers on it. So do the burst behind it. So it will mount like that. And then I might use my itty bitty flower and put some flowers on there. Let's get the other ones. Because we've got 3 flower types, so let's have them all in a row. Great for using up tiny little scraps, that. So we'll have them, and then we want some little white centres. Where's that scrap of white I had? Three white centres. That would be a lovely. Lovely little accent there. So we need a dab of glue. In the centre, and then we need to stick that on. There is, I have got some tweezers that do tend to make this a tad easier to stick on. And it's whether or not I'm gonna leave them flat or stand them up, or even not have them in a row, have them in a cluster. Right, so I'm going to get a bit of foam. I have a foam pad that came out of my block caddy thing. So you get loads of these when you buy the block caddy. And I'm going to just use the end of my paper piercer going round in a circle, and it gives this that nice sort of domed effect. Like it. You can use any thick foam on this, you just need something that give you a bit of give. And some people have those big balls like our stylus, but you have a big ball, you can do the same thing. Okay, so like that. And I have got, no, I was going to say I've got the Happiness Blooms enamel dots, but I don't think it needs it. I think it's just, you don't have a centre to a centre of a flower, do you? So let's get these stuck down. Okay. And I've dropped my paper piercer onto the floor, which is an abyss. Can't see it. It's down there somewhere. Right, so let's decide, do we want, something I forgot to do, on my sketch these two corners are rounded, but I didn't. A sketch is just to inspire, you don't have to follow. So that is it, put together with the embossed background, and that it is with not an embossed background. Don't quite know. I would normally go for an embossed background, and you know, if I go for the embossed background, that can go in the middle. Saves me cutting another one, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll go for that. So stick this down. That was a quick decision. I don't usually make them quite so quick. Okay. Lovely sunny day out my window. Haven't quite got the view that Mary Fish has. Did you see it? You really need to go and check it out. Oh my actual, it is just the most amazing place. It's like looking through a holiday brochure, looking for somewhere like paradise to stay, and that's where Mary Fish lives. She's got just such a beautiful view. Whereas if you've seen my craft room tour, you will know that my view is 3 backyards, my own and my neighbour to that side and my neighbour around the corner. Doesn't inspire at all. If I look beyond the roofs, I can see some trees because there is a park within spitting distance of my house. We used to call it our back garden. We would have kind of liked a back garden when we were moving here, because we didn't have one in our previous house, but we'd never had one, so it was a case of what you haven't got you never miss. And then literally there's this massive Victorian park round the corner, so it's like we don't need a park. Somebody else does the gardening, so that's quite good. But I went, yeah, but I can't exactly have a barbecue in there and have a few beers, can I? But hey ho. So there we go. And then I like to stick this in the middle. I might do a little bit of a cluster of flowers on the inside. Let's bring a few of these back. So have that one. It was balmy blue, wasn't it? Put a bit of balmy blue in there. And then come in with some little ones. Pool party one is the one that I took off, isn't it? And I put it, do you know, I can't believe I actually remembered that I took it off and I put it over there. Pool party. Yep, So we'll have a bit of that there, bit of that there, and then stick a few dots on. Get the other ink pads for the dots, and then we've got the inside and the outside matching, which I always think is a nice little touch. There we go, that'll do nicely. So you could have put a sentiment in there, but I won't. I'm just going to move these before I put my elbow in them. Come in with my shimmy shammy. And then we just need to glue that in the middle, and that's a thank you card ready for a customer or anyone really, anyone that I want to say thank you to. I say and send a lot of thank you cards, and you never know, you might receive this. There you go, love that actually, that was inspired. There we go, so that is my 3 versions of my card sketch. 3 very different cards, but started with the same sort of idea. That was my one sheet wonder I did ages ago, and I made 14 cards. When I made my card sketch, I went, oh, that looks just like that. So obviously it was in my brain when I was making this one on the computer. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. If you want to pop over to Stampin' for All and join in, please do. And I'll see you again soon. Bye. Thanks for watching. I will answer anybody if they've made any comments after. Okay. Oh, I can see some comments, but I can't do anything about them now. I'm going to go and finish now, and then I'll let you know.